What's good, everybody? Welcome to the I Needed Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Bryce Lovejoy, my boy Cameron Sanders. We're going to be covering all your topic needs from the NFL to the NBA, college football, college basketball, maybe touching a little MLB, but you know what I'm saying? It's been a long time coming for this, man. Let them know, Cam.
Yeah, man. It's exciting, man. We've been talking about this for a long time now, and just finally just seeing this all come together, man. This is gonna be exciting, man. I can't wait to get this. I can't wait to get started, man.
Man, for sure. Dream come true, man. Y'all don't understand.
uh,
Me and this man here, we talk about and argue about sports all day in each
all
other's
day.
DM. And for the past 2 years, we've been talking about, man, we just need to take it to a sports podcast. And life and school just had us too busy. But now we finally got the freedom to do this. So we're going to bring y'all all the stuff that we be arguing about on the daily. So y'all in for some good entertainment. Today, it's going to be our first episode. We're going to talk about the AFC for the upcoming 22-23 NFL season. We're going to kick it off talking about the AFC East and nothing left to be said. Let's get to it, man. What you want to start off with the AFC East?
Man, first of all, I want to say this is a nice little division. You know, you got the Bills, you got the Dolphins, the Pats, and also you got the Jets. Pats last year they surprised a lot of people with Mac Jones, man.
They did. I didn't think Mac Jones was gonna be that good. I'm still not completely sold on him, but
me neither. Trust me, me neither.
But I'm sure I'm about to hear about that.
But you know, he fit their offense, man. And you know, Bill, he's the greatest. To me personally, he's the greatest coach to ever do it.
Can't argue that.
And yeah, he just fit their system. And yeah, I mean, it's a great division. You know, Miami, they picked up your boy Reid, man. They picked up
it's for Tua, it's go time. It's either you get it this year or he out of there. I think they got everything he need. Waddle, Hill, they re-signed Gesicki.
Picked up Cedric Wilson.
I was just picked up Cedric Wilson from the Cowboys. Got Raheem Mostert in the backfield.
Yeah.
New coach, specifically tailored for the offense. I mean, I don't personally agree with, Tua was a bust just yet because, nobody really believed in him on the previous coaching staff. But this upcoming year, I don't know. You got to produce. I mean, I got the odds from what the sports book's saying right now. And, of course, we filming this early. So as of today, this July 10th, 2022. So there's still a lot of stuff that could change before the season. Football, real hectic sport. Injuries could take place. But as of right now today, July 10th, they got Buffalo negative 285 to Texas division. Miami second plus 385. New England third plus 550. New York Jets at plus 2,000. So, I mean, obviously the easy pick is Buffalo. But one thing I think people not paying attention to is Dable left. The offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills. And he's a big reason why I think that Josh Allen's made some of the progressions he's made over the years. Like, don't get me wrong, Josh Allen's obviously a great talent, arguably the best dual threat quarterback in the league right now. But Daboll definitely helped in losing your offensive coordinator. I don't think everything's just going to be as smooth as, it was last year. And they definitely in a win now situation as well. They signed Von Miller to that fat contract, meaning, hey, it's either Super Bowl or bust right now. We got the roster to do it. Let's go do it. But as y'all know, these past 2 years, my Chiefs been standing in the way. So I mean, hey, and the West is loaded this year. So it might not even be us standing in their way, but they definitely, it's Super Bowl or bust for them. Playoffs are bust for Miami. And like you said, Bill Belichick, the greatest coach ever. So can't ever count out the Patriots, even though I'm not sure they made enough roster moves to be in competition with Miami and Buffalo this year, as far as I'm thinking. And New York, I know obviously they're in rebuild mode, but they definitely hit the draft out the park this year. I gotta give it to them. Them first 4 picks, they got Sauce Gardner. It's gonna be Sauce Ivan in New York. I mean, hopefully they let him, grow and build, not just expect Darrelle Revis 2.0 off bat, but I would expect that's some of the results they're gonna get with Sauce. They got arguably the best wide receiver out of Ohio State. I don't know Ohio State fans, let me know some, but hey, Garrett Wilson,
He's that
personally, I
guy.
think Olave was I got him 1A, Wilson 1B,
Mm-hmm.
but hey, this wide receiver draft class was loaded, so you couldn't go
Stack.
wrong with any pick. Got Garrett
Anyone.
Wilson, then who else they pick up? They got let's see. Jermaine Johnson,
Mm-hmm.
perfect DL to pair with Quentin Williams that they drafted
Mm-hmm.
2019. He going into his third year, so he should be looking for a breakout year. Second year in Saleh's system. And then arguably to me, the best running back in the NFL draft class. Brees
Brees Hall.
Hall from
Yep.
Iowa State. I done watched him run over Oklahoma for the past few years. He's nice.
Man, I wanted him so bad on my Texas, man. So bad.
Man, he's nice. And I mean, they obviously rebuild, like I said, but I would think Zach Wilson, you want to see some type of progression from him this year. I'm not saying, obviously they in the tough division, not they gotta compete right off the bat, but 5-6 wins, maybe show some improvement like y'all on the rise. That could be good. And like I said, football would be injuries. You never know. They could surprise people and be in contention for second, third place in that division
Literally.
if things fall the right way for them. So they definitely got young talent on that roster. Excited to
Definitely.
see what they do in the upcoming years.
Yeah, for sure.
But and let's get into New England because I think they lost their corner, JC Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's one of those things where Bill Belichick, he just knows, he don't have no problem ever letting go of some of these top-notch players or what we think is top-notch players.
Oh, yeah,
And
he
so
don't care.
he done came to my division on the Chargers, as supposed to be the top corner. But I'm just wondering if he was more of a product of Bill Belichick's system instead of just being the lockdown corner that people think he is.
He is, yeah.
You think he locked down or you think that's Bill Belichick?
Man, it's hard to tell, man, because I mean, he was locked down. You literally could not throw his way at all. But like you said, it could just be the Belichick way. It could just be that defensive system. So seeing him over there with the Chargers is going to be very interesting. I mean, me personally, I think he's locked down, but you never know. Like you said, it could be the system. You just never know.
He got some great lockdown capability, but I'm on the boat where I think Belichick he brings out the most in his players, especially with his great defensive mind. So that's gonna be interesting to look at. As far as the offensive end for them, Mac Jones was a pleasant surprise, but at the same time, as great as Bill Belichick is, one of his downfalls is he never seems to just want to go get that extra needed talent on the offensive end. I don't know for what reason. I mean, they had Tom Brady for 20 years, so he was masking all that for a little while. But I mean, if you think Mac Jones is the future, why not kind of help him and bolster with that true number one wide receiver?
Exactly.
They added Devontae Parker. I don't think that's cutting it
at all
with a wide receiver course as is. They got Nelson Aguilar last year, Kendrick Bourne. They not really number one guys. Hunter Henry tight end position, he's solid tight end, but as far as a number one go get it threat, they still don't have that, and that's why I feel like it's Miami. It's second place is for the taking for Miami this year. I'm expecting Miami to come through, take second, handle business in the division.
Yeah,
and I think we might see New England out of the playoffs again. And if that is the case, does Robert Kraft say, "Hey, maybe Bill Belichick, your time is up"? I mean, like don't get me wrong, like you said, he's the best coach ever. He's had a great run, but maybe it's just time to move on. It's at a stalemate,
I mean, I can see it. It's potential. I feel like he'll probably let him retire rather than
Yeah, he'll probably let him go out with some dignity. But
yeah.
I mean,
but yeah, I can definitely see that happening. Like you said, they have no receiving one at all. Devontae Parker, me personally, he's not a receiving one. Great fantasy guy, great fantasy player, but receiving one, nah, he just not cutting. Hunter Henry, like you said, he's a solid tight end, but me personally, it looks like they're gonna be running the ball a lot, like with Damian Harris, that Stevenson guy, and I believe they still have James White. They still got James White. So yeah, I think Same things last year. They're gonna be running the ball just like when they played the Bills that one game they went
when they ran the ball the whole game and won.
the whole game.
That's a Bill Belichick specialty, right? I had never seen that ever. Boy,
never seen that ever.
I could not believe it. They just ran the football down their throats repeatedly, and it's like, I mean, y'all know what's coming, Buffalo, and they could not stop it. They could not stop it. That shit was crazy. And then the other reason I think they really need a receiver number one, because Buffalo, they had the number one defense last year. Now, obviously, that's probably going to regress back to the mean a little bit this year, but I still think, not regardless, but if they stay relatively injury free, that's still probably going to be a top 5, top 10 defense in the league. They should probably be getting Tre'Davious White back. Like I said, they added Von Miller. They also added 2 good little receiving options, I think, for Josh Allen and OJ Howard and Jameson Crowder, because they got rid of Cole Beasley. So they definitely still should be number one. But as far as beating that defense, then you got Miami. They were able to renegotiate Xavier Howard's contract. They re-signed Emmanuel Ogbah on the edge. That's still a nice defense as well. So New England definitely gonna need somebody that's gonna be able to beat some of these top tier defense in the division. I just don't think they have it this year. So
yeah, I don't see it at all. Like you said, I see them in that third, or I can see the Jets potentially going to that third spot. But yeah, in that division is definitely, for me personally, I think Bills win that division. I can see them winning about 12 games. And then, like you said, Miami second. So,
And let's just go ahead and talk about Miami, man. Probably one of the biggest off seasons out of all the teams in the NFL. Obviously, if you're not living under or not paying attention to sports media this summer, Tyreek Hill, highest paid wide receiver in the NFL.
That's what he wanted.
Sent to Miami. Miami gave the Chiefs numerous draft picks, which we'll talk about later, because I think we nailed those, if I do say so myself. But Tyreek Hill, man, no doubt. I'm not finna sit up here in front like that loss doesn't hurt. He is the fastest dude with the ball in NFL history. History. And, they always say, oh, guys got track speed, but, they usually lack the football talent. No, he's a football player who got track speed.
Yeah.
He showed every time he's in the open field. He's quick, agility, side to side, everything you could want, he's got it. And pairing that up with Jalen Waddle, that could be deadly. Now the problem is, which I've talked to you, as you know, about before. One of the things I think that people don't realize that allow Tyreek to be so great is Mahomes' escapability in the pocket and the ability to keep the play alive.
Yeah.
I don't know if Tua is going to be able to do that. So if that first initial deep shot for Tyreek isn't open, I don't know how his production is going to go or fare this season with Tua as quarterback. Because I would assume, since they got Jalen Waddle and him now, Miami's about to see a lot of that 2 deep safety coverage that we saw all last season. So
exactly,
that's going to be an adjustment for Tua in itself. But at the same time, Tua's specialty is the short pass game. So it's going to be interesting to see how they kind of find that mix and how Tyreek kind of brings up that offense, because they definitely got weapons galore over there in Miami. Like I said, it's this year or never for Tua. Like you gotta bring it. It's your 3rd year. Franchise brought in everything you needed, so like no excuses at this point.
No excuses at all. I mean, this is damn near like the team you had in Bama. Goddamn, I mean,
I'm saying, like, you got 5-star recruits everywhere. Like, go win the championship.
Go with it, man. It's gonna be. But for Reid, man, it's gonna be different for him, man. This offense is gonna be a little bit different for him. Like you said, Pat, one of the best quarterbacks at like escaping pressure, and I don't know if Tua can. Well, Tua, he definitely can't do what Pat can do. So it's gonna be very interesting to see what how Reid can gel with Tua. But I mean, Reid been all over the news saying
he's more accurate than Patrick. That's what you say. We about to find out. I mean,
we gonna see, pal.
For his sake, I hope he's right, but man, we gonna see. And also, I forgot to mention another strong addition. They also picked up Chase Edmunds from Arizona, so
they
got a nice little running back tandem with him and Mostert. That's gonna be nice.
They have a nice running back group. They also got also picked up Sony Michel and still got Myles Gaskins. So I mean that running back room is deep.
Yeah, and with this new 17-game season, I know it's not new this year. They added it last year, but you definitely got to have a deep running back room because them carries add up if you just use it on one player. And that's a nice little running back room to have. They got speed everywhere. Chase Edmunds is one of the best dual threat running backs probably in the game.
Yep,
so
he is.
Little wheel and screen routes from Tua, get it out there. Everybody focus on Waddle and Hill. That could be a deadly attack too. So I'm very excited to see how Miami fares. I wish we got to play him, just so we can see Tyreek on the other side since he got all this stuff to say. But man, we'll just have to wait for that in the future. You know what I'm saying? And
you get your chance, man. Y'all get your chance.
Yeah. What division you want to go to next in the AFC, man?
Let's talk about the AFC North, man.
Okay, this man, I want to talk about this one so bad, man. Okay, yeah, let's talk about this one, man.
This a very interesting, very, very interesting division, man. You got the Browns who just picked up I ain't gonna say what I want to say.
Let's keep it PG.
let's keep PG. They just picked up that boy Deshaun Watson, man.
And that's a big if, because I mean, obviously suspension is inevitable, but with the NFL, you never know how long guys really get suspended because there's no baseline for like a solid suspension. He could end up getting 4 games. He could end up getting the whole season. We really don't know. They say it's supposed to be a heavy suspension, but we're gonna see. But if it's not, and the Browns do get Deshaun Watson for a solid part of their season. Now, for all the viewers out there and the women listening, if y'all are, I'm not saying I condone anything Deshaun Watson was doing in the massage rooms. He's a horrible human being on that front.
Horrible.
But like I just stated before, when you leave it to the NFL, punishment is very rarely given out that adds up to the crime committed.
Yep.
So if Deshaun Watson plays, that's the best quarterback in their division.
Yep,
I mean, I know they got Joey B now, cool as ever. Lamar Jackson, former MVP. And I mean, Mitchell Trubisky, Pickett, I don't know who's really going to start for the Steelers. I would suspect Trubisky, and they kind of let Pickett sit back and watch. But if Deshaun Watson plays football, just strictly speaking football, that's the best quarterback in the division. Easy. And you pair that with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, probably the best running back doing the NFL. That's going to be a dangerous team. But I don't think they'll have Deshaun Watson. We still got to wait to see how that goes.
Me personally, I think he'll get the whole year off.
He should, if not more than that. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. It's gonna be interesting to see that though.
Man, on to the the Ravens. I don't know what they got going on, but they must not like Lamar Jackson, because why are they sabotaging this man's career? Get this man zero help in the receiver room, trade away his number 1 receiver and his best friend, Marquis Brown. Won't give this man a new contract. What's going on in Baltimore? Because if you got Lamar secure, I really feel like this was their year to bounce back. Last year they were too heavily injury riddled. Like there's nothing you can do about that. Sometimes that's just how the dice rolls. And they got hit by the injury bug early and it was heavy. So, but if you have a healthy Lamar Jackson with the running back room they have, you would have kept Marquise Brown with Mark Andrews coming off the year he had. I would have picked the Ravens to be first in the division.
Yeah, me too. I would have too.
But now they stalling on his contract talks. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think he showed up to OTAs. Voluntary OTAs.
I don't think he did.
They said, I saw a report on Twitter the other day. They said he looks as jacked as he's ever been. He been in the weight room heavy this offseason. So he looked like he primed for a year. Like, just get that man his money. He earned it. That's what I'm saying.
He definitely deserves it. Definitely
give that man his money. And I know people gonna say, oh, he can't throw. Like, okay, for one, Ravens offense isn't even tailored around throwing.
On the ball.
So I would never expect Lamar to just have the best passing numbers out there. But when you give him help, you see what he did in 2019. He could easily repeat that because when he's healthy, he's the best. Not the best dual, but he's the best running quarterback in the league. He can make anybody miss.
Goddamn, ever. I mean, me personally, I think he's a better runner than Mike Vick. That's me personally, though. That's a hot take.
I agree with you, and that hurts me to say that because Mike Vick was my dude, but he definitely a better runner than Mike Vick. And it's not like he's terrible at throwing the ball. Lamar Jackson got an arm and he can throw some darts when he feel like it. Now, obviously, accuracy isn't there, and there's problems with his deep ball before. But like I said, this man has had no wide receiver help virtually his whole career. Marquis Brown was a decent downfield threat, but wasn't really the downfield threat you really need. They had Sami Watkins. I speak on Sami Watkins. Sami Watkins gonna give you 3 good games per year. The other ones, he's either out or he's dealing with injury. Now, if you make it to the playoffs and you can get a healthy Sami Watkins, hey, he can perform. But during the season, yeah, Sammy gonna be out 70% of the time. So when they picked up him, I mean, people were saying, "Oh, that's some wide receiver." I was like, "That's not really help whatsoever," because Sammy's not gonna provide nothing for you. They got Rashad Bateman. I guess they banking on him being receiver number 1. I haven't seen a lot of dude, but maybe you can. Think you wide receiver number 1?
Man, I'm telling you. I was watching I was watching some of their games last year because I had them on my fantasy team, and I was watching some of the games last year. That second half of the year, because I think he was out like the first half of the year with some type of injury, and then he came in as a rookie. Man, it's like every third down, just look his way, he gonna catch it. I mean, this guy, he's amazing. That's definitely a receiver 1 in my opinion. Look for him to have a really big year. If I don't think they're gonna really throw the ball a lot because obviously the way they conduct their offense, they run the ball a lot. But when they do throw a lot, look for him. He's gonna be a problem.
Because that's what I've been hearing. All reports coming out of campus saying like it's his year to break out. They obviously got rid of Marquis Brown. Yep. No real other wide receiver threat, so it's on him. And of course, you still got Mark Andrews.
Oh yeah.
What I would say is he probably after last year he secured the top. He's number 3 tight end in the league behind Kittle and Kelsey.
For sure.
I know a lot of Ravens fans are on the hill like, oh no, Mark Andrews is the best. That's why he had the most yards as a tight end. Like, no, he had a great year. I'll give him that. But that was his first great year. He gotta repeat on that and keep building on that for me to start even thinking about saying, oh, he over Kittle, he over Kelsey, because right now, no, you're crazy if you think that, man.
It's like Kittle and Kelsey is here, and like everybody else is right here.
Yeah,
I mean Darren Waller could be like right here if he like stay healthy, but those guys, it's like different tiers for tight ends, and Mark Andrews is not on that tier yet.
He not. Yeah. Sorry, Ravens fans.
Sorry.
If some of them listen to that, they're gonna be real mad about that. But moving on to the Steelers now. I don't know how the playoff seeding is gonna work out in this division, but I know one thing: you be a fool if you count out Mike Tomlin, the man who's never missed the playoffs. I don't know how he gonna do it, but the man finds a way time and time again to make the playoffs. Last year, he was playing with handicapped Ben Roethlisberger. Couldn't throw the ball more than 5 yards down the field, and they still found a way.
He was horrible.
And this year, I think I'm gonna go out and say I'm pretty sure Mitchell Trubisky probably gonna be the starter week 1.
Yeah, most likely.
I think he probably benefited last year from being in Buffalo, learning from behind Josh Allen, Dable. I would think it's not gonna be the same Chicago Trubisky that we see in Pittsburgh. Now, they still got a lot of questions to be answered, but I think they made a good decision in drafting Pickens because personally, I thought we were going to get Pickens, and I was rooting for that pick. George Pickens is a nice receiver out of Georgia, tall, speed, go get the deep ball, get the jump ball. They use him right, and they still got. I mean, I know he had problems with drops last year, but I still think that's partially because they was only running slant routes down the middle. Deontay Johnson, and then I mean, he said he's a top wide receiver in the league, and you can't blame nobody for saying they're the best in the league because obviously you need to feel that way. But they got Claypool as well, so I mean, Mike Tomlin, coach team, decent players on both sides of the ball. They still got some dogs on that defense. Minka's still back there. Cam Hayward still down. TJ Watt. I mean, it just sucks that he can't be the best defensive player in the league because Aaron Donald is still in the league.
But
if Aaron Donald wasn't here, TJ Watt
easily
the best defender in the league. But I'm
sorry. He had like 20 sacks last year or 19.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
He's a dog. I don't know if this might upset you. I think he might got JJ. I know JJ in his prime was a dog, but as far as just being able to stay on the field, TJ might pass him by the time it's all said. I won't give him the nod over JJ because obviously JJ was a 3-time defensive player of the year.
Yeah, 3-time. Yep.
He was a GOAT when he was healthy, but as far as longevity, I think TJ might be able to get him because he seems to be staying relatively healthy so far. But I can't count out Mike Tomlin's team. So if I had to pick some for them, I could see them finishing second or third and somehow maybe scraping into the playoffs in that third spot if that's where they finish. And, continuing Mike Tomlin's streak.
Yeah, I can definitely see it. I feel like I think they'll definitely get 9 wins. They should get 9 wins. I mean, he gets 9 wins like every year. So
yeah. And then,
9 wins should be good for them, 9 or 10.
And I don't think I said it yet for these teams, but the odds, they got Baltimore and Cincy tied at plus 165.
That's interesting.
Now obviously those could change, because they do have these Lamar contract talks stalling right now. Got Cleveland at plus 250. That's obviously riding heavy on whether or not they're going to have Deshaun Watson or Jacoby Brissett back there at quarterback. If it's Jacoby Brissett, I would expect those odds to vastly diminish. And then Pittsburgh at plus 750 or plus 750. So they got Pittsburgh finishing dead last. Now, like I said, I just it's never happened. So I can't see Mike Tomlin team finishing dead last. I don't care who back there at quarterback, who they got. Mike Tomlin gonna find a way. I have faith in that.
He always finds a way. Always. So it's minus 450. You said
plus 750 for Pitt.
Yeah. Okay. I don't see him finishing dead last, but like you said, I mean, you never know. We never seen it before, so yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Last but not least, I hate to say this, but it happened. The reigning AFC champion, Cincinnati Bengals, man. Joey B, man, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Joe Mixon, man. I still don't know how. But they did it. So I give them their props.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick a team to fall off this year, they got my vote.
Ooh.
Now they did these offseason moves they made. They definitely addressed their problems they had. Because obviously Joe Burrow was the most sacked quarterback in the NFL. I think was it like record 9 sacks in that Titans playoff game that they should have lost if Tannehill wasn't so bad. We're going to talk about him later. But they bolstered that offensive line and free agency, added 3 new linemen. Draft, they probably got one of the better defensive prospects in the draft in Dax Hill from Michigan. He can play safety. He can play slot corner. It's going to be interesting to see where they put him. I know their safety, Jesse Bates, he wanted a new contract offer. They wasn't able to give him one. They put him back on the franchise tag, and he hates playing on the franchise tag, so he could hold out. But if not, and they still can't come to terms after this season, I definitely think that's why they made that pick in Dax Hill to replace him. They also got cornerback Cam Taylor-Britt from Nebraska. He quick, got length. Probably gonna see him splitting time with Eli Apple, so they don't got to keep his sorry self on the field no more.
Trash.
Talking the most trash. That's probably the stuff that pissed me off the most about us losing him is him talking to trash on Twitter like he was doing something, man. But they lost Uzama, the tight end, but they replaced him with Hayden Hurst from Atlanta. So that's pretty even.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're a great team. They probably got the best young wide receiver core in the NFL. Don't get me wrong, but
I think they got the best receiving core.
They do. Because T Higgins is really. I mean, I know Jamar Chase obviously number one because him and Burrow connection, but you put T Higgins on damn near any other roster in the league, he a number one receiver. So they really got two number ones, and then Boyd is no slouch either.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, I don't think they can repeat what they did because, you know, the NFL is a league of parity. And the hardest thing to do is repeat the success you had from last year. That's why very few teams do it. And if you go look back at what they did last season, they went, I think they finished off 13-8 and they run to the Super Bowl. 4 or 5 of those wins came against bottom teams in the league.
Mm-hmm.
They won a couple one-possession games where it could have easily went the other way. Like I said, they should have lost to Tennessee, but Ryan Tannehill, just not that guy. Could not get it done.
At all.
Then you got us in the AFC Championship, and we just run the football and take the clock out the game instead of trying to throw when they're dropping A back of coverage. Should have never given up a 21-3 lead. And then I would have been so pissed if they would have lucked out and won that Super Bowl with the Rams. I mean, I don't even like the Rams, but I was like, bro, if I gotta listen to Joey Burrow talk about in the offseason about him being better than Brady all year, I was gonna off myself. Because
got to.
Don't get me wrong, Joe Burrow is a great young QB. But if you go look at the stats that he was putting up, yes, I get it. They won. He wasn't doing anything special. And that's why when people say, oh, he's the next Tom Brady. Yeah, the beginning of Tom Brady's career, that fits perfectly for the comparison last year. Because literally, I think he finished with like 4 touchdowns in the postseason in what, 3-4 games?
Yeah.
Or 4 games because they went all the way to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's not elite quarterback numbers right there
at all. Like
he was throwing interceptions too. Like they would the defense would step up every second half and every game, get the stops they needed.
Somehow the defense was playing crazy. That defense not even like that.
I don't even, bro. I'll never get over that loss in the AFC Championship, bro. We should have dog walked them.
Well. But
I mean, I get it. You know, people want to discredit, you know, Mahomes and being the new young quarterback of the league, and they were quick to throw Burrow on that or give Burrow that name, and I'm like, he's good, but don't get ahead of yourself.
Crazy. He's not even there yet.
He's not
even close to being there yet.
And that's why I'm thinking this year, this is gonna be the interesting year. Last year you were the Cinderella team. Now you gotta repeat and hold the standards you came with last year. Because last year y'all were the team looking up and fighting. Now this year y'all got the target on your back. Y'all the reigning AFC champs. So let's see how they respond.
Yeah.
And the division, it's a lot up in the air, and I think they might be able to benefit again for the fact Deshaun Watson probably not going to be playing. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens obviously can't come to terms with each other, and they're not doing anything to help him. So they might luck out and win the AFC North again.
Mm-hmm.
But the AFC so loaded, I'm willing to bet they don't make it back to the AFC Championship game this year.
I don't see them making back to the AFC Championship game. Maybe if they have like another lucky run, Joey B do some lucky shit that he did.
He was pulling off.
Yeah, he was pulling off some crazy shit. I remember seeing this one video. He was he did something like it was he ran for the first down and basically won the game. I don't know if that was against y'all or
it probably was. It was that Chris Jones had him in his arms. Yeah. He ducked under him, took off. Then Chris Jones stayed on his tail, tried to reach. He high-stepped him, took off for the first down. I was like, bro, how are you as a 6'5", 260 defensive lineman letting Joe Burrow escape you that easy.
Crazy. It's nuts.
Just stupid plays like that. And I'll give that one to him. That's just a great play. A great player make a great play. But still, man, I just can't believe that hype. They say, oh, he'll definitely be back to the Super Bowl. That's not a promise in this league. Probably the hardest thing to do besides getting to the Super Bowl is making it back to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And if he isn't making it back, I don't think they'll make it back for the next 3 years. I don't see them in Super Bowl contention like that again.
Unless they beef up that defense, get some more guys in there. And I know they had a good year last year, but I think that defense was that was a fluke. Defense really not like that. But they played very well. And they just got to beef up that O-line even more. I know they got La'el Collins and I think that guy Alex Kappa or whatever his name is from the guard from the Bucks. But they still need more pieces on that O-line. Jamar Chase, he's
nice
rookie year.
Nah, I can't say nothing bad about him. He torched us. I'm glad we got rid of all the corners we had. Because if I had to see Travarius Ward, Mike Hughes on Jamar Chase again, I was gonna rip my eyes out. And I don't understand that either. Why Spags was doing what he was doing? Cause I'm like, bro, if you gonna put one person on Jamar Chase with no help over the top, you know where the ball is going every time.
Every single time. He's gonna beat that corner every single time, or it's gonna be
punking our ass every route. Just fade, Burrow, throw it along the sidelines, and he's just going and getting it every time.
Every single time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
If I had to make picks right now as of today, I'm gonna say Deshaun Watson suspended for the season.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least he gonna be suspended for such a good portion of the season. I don't think Brissett gonna be able to keep Cleveland in playoff contention in that vision. And I'm putting my money thinking Lamar Jackson gonna be back.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Bengals and the Ravens finishing 1-2. Depending on what the Ravens do with the Lamar Jackson situation, if they able to give that man the contract he deserves or give him something, I think they bounce back and get first place in the division. Because I forgot to even mention they had some nice additions too this year. Marcus Williams for cheap, $14 million a year. Mm-hmm. They thought the safety market was gonna boom on him, and they were able to come in and steal him. And then
picked up Kyle Hamilton.
In the draft, another safety.
Yeah.
Still got Marcus Peters supposed to come back from his torn ACL. Yep. I mean, I know obviously returning to who you were on them type injuries isn't a given, but that man is a ball hawk, and I don't think he's lost them skills
at all. No, he did not.
And then they also got Tyler Lindbaum from Iowa. That's big boy center. Iowa stay producing the best blockers in the league.
Yes.
And then they went out and they rolled the dice on Ojabo from Michigan. I know he tore his Achilles, so we might not see him this year, but that's a nice edge rusher on the defense too. So as usual, Baltimore always stacked up on the defensive side, and as you know, defense wins championships. So if they got Lamar and that running attack, and Mark Andrews playing the way like he did last year, I could easily see them taking back the division, because last year they were right there for the division and they didn't even have Lamar for like 6 games. So definitely a lot to watch in the AFC North. It's up for grabs this year. I don't think it's going to be as easy for a Bengals repeat as people think it is.
People think, like you said, 1 or 2 easily, Bengals and Ravens, either or. Like it's a toss up. I see Bengals winning about 11 games, maybe 12. I see also Ravens winning about that much. Those two, that's gonna be an interesting a football game between them two, because Joey B, he likes to toss that ball around, and you can't really toss that ball around versus Ravens like that with that secondary. But he did it last year, and
he did.
He definitely did it last year versus them. And Jamar Chase went crazy
stupid.
versus them.
He went stupid.
It was nuts. I think he had Was that the game he had like almost 200 yards or something like that?
Yep. That one where he caught the slant route, 3 Ravens defenders right there, and somehow he spun out and took off.
Took off.
But I think another thing is, they obviously had a great year last year, but now they got the tape on them this year.
Yeah.
So expect a lot of adjustments to how they play offense or how teams guard them playing offense. And they're going to have to, come up with some adjustments themselves to combat that. So definitely going to be interesting to see if, Joe Shiesty is really that dude like people trying to make him out to be.
Yeah. Like you said, they got the tape on him. Jamar Chase, he won't have the same year as he had last year because he legit had the best rookie year for a receiver ever, hands down.
But the crazy thing is, though, his partner from his days at LSU, Justin Jefferson, if he didn't play with Kirk Cousins, same numbers. I mean, he had the record for 1 year before Jamar just broke it. And he was with Kirk Cousins. So, I mean, they like 1A, 1B best young receivers. But, man.
That says a lot. That definitely says a lot.
That LSU team was crazy.
Man, it was crazy. That's a whole different subject, but a whole different day.
Yeah, a whole different day. Don't worry, we're gonna touch on college football too. Man, we can move to the AFC South now. You know what I'm saying? Touch on your division. How you feeling this year about your Texans, man?
Man, honestly, everyone doesn't expect a lot from us, and I get it. We are definitely a young group of guys. Got a new head coach, Lovie Smith. I mean, he been around the league a while now, but got a new head coach in there, got a new offensive coordinator in there. It's gonna be very interesting. I actually see us having a good year this year. I know, like I said, everyone else don't see it, but I mean that defense is very young, but like we just drafted Darius Stingley.
I was gonna say Stingley Island.
He gonna be locked down. He remind me of like a Darrell Revis, or he just one of them. Like he's locked down.
One of them dudes. I mean, I know the end of his LSU career didn't go as projected. But he was dealing with some injuries. The team obviously wasn't as good as they were. But that 2019 year when they won the ship
as a freshman.
In SEC football, he was locking everybody down. And that potential is still there. And y'all got Lovie Smith, great defensive mind, certified in the league as a defensive coach. Like that was a good pickup for y'all. Added Jalen Petrie to hopefully replace Justin Reid in the safety.
He's a dog. He's almost like Daxton Hill, because you can also put him at safety. You put him in a slide. I mean, he was a very good piece. One of my friends, he didn't really like the pick. I was like, bro, like just give it time. Like at Baylor, he was a dog at Baylor. So that's gonna be interesting.
And then I know you can say how you feel. I don't know if necessarily Davis Mills is the franchise quarterback. But as far as having a placeholder QB, I think he's poised to have a pretty decent year building off what he did last year.
Last year, me personally, I think he was the best rookie quarterback. If you look at his stats, it beats Mac Jones. It beats Zach Wilson. It beats Justin Fields. The only thing that people was like really like big on, he had a bad first half of the year. But I mean, he's a rookie quarterback, so after Tyrod Taylor came back from his injury, he sat, he learned, and then he got back in there. And that second half, man, he looked very impressive. Like he looked like I call him Baby Luck. I call him Baby Luck, man. I really hope this guy succeeds, because everybody's just like attacking him against him. But I don't know if you remember, like a couple years ago, he was like the number one guy out of his class.
No, he was.
Going to Stanford. He's a very good athlete. I mean, I like Davis Mills personally. I hope he succeeds. He has the right to be the starter quarterback. He earned that right.
Yeah, and, if y'all put Kyle Allen back there over him, something wrong.
Yeah, something wrong with Lovie Smith. If Kyle Allen is back there over him, it's definitely Nick Caserio, our GM, making the moves. But Also, Nick Caserio, I love Nick Caserio, man. Everything he's done with this whole Deshaun Watson thing, waiting to trade him at the very last.
Buttload of picks.
Yes, a haul of picks. So.
And Cleveland's stupid because, like we said, they might not even get Deshaun this year. So that's already 1 year you done lost out on this deal.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, also, like I said, got Stingley. Then we also picked the offensive guard from A&M.
Oh, so, what's that?
Keon Green or something like that.
Green, yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna add to the line, help protect Mills, and then I don't know. He said he's gonna be ready by right now, July, for full football activity. Mechie, that's a nice little receiver.
A nice little pickup.
Because I mean, obviously, people say Jameson Williams was the number one receiver at Alabama, but
before him, it was
Mechie. Mechie is no slouch. Obviously, he returned off a torn ACL, but Mechie is a nasty receiver himself. And you pair him up with Brandon Cooks, I could honestly see y'all making some noise in the AFC South because I don't see too much competition besides maybe the Colts. I think the Titans are poised for a fall off after last year. I think last year really hurt their pride and ego because they put in all that work to get number one in the division, sack Joe Burrow 9 times, and lose the game because Tannehill throws 3 interceptions.
And they lost AJ Brown, and I don't that defense not.
They got Treylon Burks, but I mean AJ Brown was Tannehill's number one wide receiver. They not bringing back Julio Jones from the looks of it. Lost AJ Brown. They don't have a number one receiver
at all.
And I mean, Derrick Henry obviously probably the best running back in the league. He got injured last year, but he's back healthy. So how can he carry them again? I don't see it happening. I think this probably Tannehill's last year in Tennessee, and if it goes south quick, they might throw Malik Willis in the fire. Hey,
I really hope they do because I wanted us to pick him up. He's a good football player. They say he got the speed of like Lamar Jackson. I don't know. He didn't run his 40, so I
can't say, but
they say he got the speed as Lamar Jackson. They say he got the arm talent as Pat Mahomes. That's what they said.
I seen the draft comparison. His potential is through the roof.
Yes.
Now, how they mold it, because you already, you saw Tannehill say, "Oh, it's not my job to be his mentor."
Messed up.
Like, bro, messed up. Like any respectable football player. I mean, obviously you don't gotta be the mentor, but to just come flat out there and say that about your new teammate the team just drafted. I mean, the writing's on the wall. If you don't get it done, he's definitely taking your spot.
Definitely, most definitely.
And I'm excited to see him too, because from watching his pre-draft tape and some of his throws at the combine, like we said, we don't know about the speed, but the arm talent, a boy's got a rocket for an arm, and he definitely can launch that ball. So I'm excited to see. But like I said, they don't got no wide receiver options. So I'm hoping they just keep Tannehill this year, because the last thing I want is they throw him in and the season just really don't go well because they don't really have no talent around him besides Derrick Henry, and then they coming for his head, calling him a bust, and that's really not the case.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they got a nice head coach over there, Mike Vrabel. He's one of the he a top coach too. I like that guy.
At the Belichick system, so it's understandable.
I wish we would have had, because he was on our staff at first, and I wish we would have made him our head coach, but obviously we didn't go that way. But yeah, they got a good head coach over there. Also, I forgot they picked up Robert Woods, but
okay.
But he come back from injury, so
he is. But he was nice. He was a pretty good receiver too. As far as receiver one, I don't know, but I remember watching him with the Rams when they had Goff. He was no slouch himself, so that's a good pickup. But like you said, AJ Brown gone is big. I don't know if they really recovering from that this year with Tannehill, because that was his number one target. So, but move on to the Jags, man. The Jags. Duval, man. They had a whole fiasco going on last year. Tebow Media, Urban Meyer, which I didn't understand that hire from the get-go.
Me neither.
I mean, he got his problems touching women that aren't his wife in the club.
Mm-hmm.
And then God forgive me, but he was just one close game from passing out on the sideline. Like, I don't know why they even picked him up. He was a college football coach for one and been retired for years. And that college to NFL transition is not just as easy as people think it is. It's the reason Nick Saban is back in college. He was not cut out to be an NFL coach. That's no diss to him because obviously he arguably the greatest college football coach ever. But the NFL was just not for him.
Mm-hmm.
So get rid of Urban Meyer. They get Doug Peterson. I know Doug Peterson's looking to redeem himself from all those mistakes with Philly. But Trevor Lawrence, I mean, I can't blame him because obviously that's just he went into a terrible situation. But 12 TDs, 17 interceptions last year. Something's got to change.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully Doug Peterson, a more offensive-minded coach, can help with that. As far as the receivers they got to help him, I don't know. I mean, they broke the receiver market, giving Christian Kirk that $80 million deal. Still don't understand that. I was reading reports that say, they really like Kirk because he could play slot or outside depending on the play. And so he's real versatile. I'm like, is that still a number one guy?
No,
I don't think so. But you gave him number one money. So for Trevor Lawrence's sake, they better hope he's a number one guy. You got Etienne coming back from injury. Obviously, he didn't get to play his rookie year, so that's a familiar face for Trevor Lawrence. Pair him with Jones in the backfield. Mm-hmm. That could be a nice little running duo if the line can hopefully open up some holes because they were bottom of the league in rushing, bottom of the league offense, I think like 27 out of 32. So I got them still finishing dead last. I think y'all are better than them this year. I think y'all surprisingly beat the Titans and y'all plays better than the Titans this year.
I think so too. I mean,
and in second place, that should get you in the playoffs. And you might not win the playoff game, but from where y'all are coming from, I think finally, like you said, clearing out that Deshaun Watson situation, Caserio got the guys he won in there. I think the culture is finally shifted. They don't have to deal with those distractions. I think it could be a productive year for the Texans.
I definitely hope so. I mean, Davis Mills, he got some people to throw to, like you said. Got Brandon Cooks over there, got Mechie over there, and also want to say, man, watch out for Nico Collins. He's gonna have a breakout year. Nico Collins is a very great receiver. He didn't get to really play a lot last year because injuries, but this year, man, I'm telling you, watch out for Nico Collins. You're gonna hear his name a lot. He's gonna be a problem. So, I mean, it's gonna be very interesting. People saying we're gonna be the sorriest team in the league. I can't see it because it's more teams out there that's worse than us.
Yeah. Y'all got a solid QB, a solid head coach, and y'all got pieces y'all can build on. There's some teams that are way worse off right now than the Texans.
Most definitely.
Now, my pick, and I believe you said when we started that they were your pick too. Obviously, I mean, the Colts think they found they got Matt Ryan, obviously at the tail end of his career, but he still got some left in the tank. The defense is there. They got all the pieces they need on that defense.
It's a top 5 defense.
That is led by Darius Leonard.
That defense nasty.
It's nasty defense. I don't know if they necessarily got the receivers to go with Matt Ryan. Michael Pittman Jr. He slated for a breakout year. He came out as a number 1 last year. Kind of took over control of the receiver room. Mm-hmm. They drafted Alec Pierce from Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. Now it's still left to be seen what he does in league, but as far as combine measurables go, he might be one of the best receivers to come in the future. 6'3", 210 pounds, 40.5-inch vertical. I think he ran a 4.41 40.
Nasty.
And you got him with a certified, not certified, but a potentially Hall of Fame QB in Matt Ryan, who knows what he's doing.
Gunslinger. He gonna throw that ball around.
Gunslinger. He could get down the field and go get it. So And then a quiet pickup that I don't think enough people are talking about for them. Obviously, you have Jonathan Taylor, reigning NFL rushing leader, but that's with a caveat because Derrick Henry got hurt, but he still would have been second if he doesn't get hurt. But they added Phillip Lindsay, and I know they
forgot about him.
Yeah, they added Phillip Lindsay. I guess his production went down in Denver, and obviously they found Javonte Williams, so they felt like we don't need
him.
Phillip Lindsay, but man has over 700 NFL carries, 0 fumbles. I don't think people realize how hard that is when you getting hit by 350-pound men from each direction with a DB trying to literally punch at the ball with all his might.
Exactly.
And you got 0 fumbles. That's 3 years worth of carries with 0 fumbles.
Crazy. That's a crazy stat.
And they got arguably top 2 lines. I can see people want to make the argument for Cleveland's O-line being better, but they either number 1 or number 2.
That O-line's the best O-line.
Quentin Nelson is a dog.
He a dog. Like, you don't want to. That's a grown-ass man. You don't want to mess with him.
And you Jonathan Taylor come off the field and you put in Phillip Lindsay, who he ain't really had the luxury of just running behind a great offensive line with his days in Denver. He gonna be a great running back too. And God forbid something happens to Jonathan Taylor, but that's a more than formidable backup right there. That was a great pickup.
Definitely.
I commend them on that one. They run game is gonna be one to be reckoned with. They probably gonna run down everybody's throat, and then that's just gonna open up the passing game for Matt Ryan on play action. So,
it's gonna be up to Matt Ryan. I mean, he's a gunslinger, so I mean, he gonna be throwing the ball around. Got Michael Pittman, got that Alec guy, and you got still got Paris Campbell there. It's gonna be up to him. I feel like they'll run through this division because it's probably one of the weakest divisions.
And I mean, if they don't, I don't know where they go from there because this their third experiment year. They've been saying, we got the team we need to compete. We just don't got the quarterback. They tried Phillip Rivers. He got them to the playoffs. Didn't do nothing when they was there.
Nothing.
Carson Wentz was a failure, even though people put a lot of blame on Carson Wentz, but I mean, I don't think he was really given the opportunity to just exactly shine, but that's neither here or there. But now you got Matt Ryan. It's another, like, hey, we got to get it done this year. Or you start looking to your left and looking to your right. We might have to blow some things up because what we have just isn't working.
Isn't working at all.
But they should take the division by storm this year. If they don't, that's a problem. I mean, obviously Titans reigning division champs, but like I said, they lost some key pieces. They returned most of that defense, but Vrabel's a good coach, but I don't see them being the top defense again. And then I think with that running attack, they could definitely beat Tennessee and overpower them throughout them games. So
most definitely.
I got the Colts finishing first, they're the favorite at -155. They got y'all all the way at plus 3,300. So Vegas really don't believe in y'all whatsoever.
Ah, damn! I might throw some bread.
Might sprinkle on that. You know what I'm saying? They got the Jags at plus 750. So they think the Jags are that much better than y'all, and I'm not sold on the Jags whatsoever because they got a lot of problems they had to fix. And like they made some moves, but their receiver room is Christian Kirk, Chenault Jr., he was a special teams guy. He's coming on as a receiver, but it's still nothing too crazy. They got rid of Chark, who was their one Pro Bowl receiver.
I love Chark, man. He's a good receiver.
He was, but they got rid of him. They also added Evan Ingram. He was a highly projected tight end coming out. Obviously went to New York Giants. Can't really blame nobody from that organization for playing bad. They've been rough for years.
For years now.
But I still don't see them just making that big of a splash. I mean, they'll probably see some improvements, but I still don't think that team has not near enough. They still in full rebuild mode. So I got y'all second and Titans third, Jags fourth.
Yeah, same list. I got the same list.
Yeah. So now, man, we saved the best for last. The best for last, man. The best for last. The AFC West, man. Now, as y'all can see, and you know, if you listen to this podcast when it come out, you know, on Apple Music or Spotify, you can't see what I'm looking at. But I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan. I'm wearing my Kansas City Chiefs shirt right now. So obviously I'm a little biased, but man, the offseason moves all these teams made, man. Just stop one guy, Patrick Mahomes. Division is loaded. I can't lie.
Insane.
Division is loaded. But man, I think we still take the division.
Ooh.
I think we still do it. And I'm gonna get to it later. But some of the top picks, I don't see them being even second in the division. But I'm gonna start with the Broncos, man. Obviously, they probably solved their quarterback puzzle piece they've been trying to figure out since Peyton Manning retired.
Definitely.
Russell Wilson, I mean, there's not too much you can say about him. He's a winner. Won a Super Bowl, obviously, with Legion of Boom. Kind of fell off towards the end, but I feel like that was more Seattle not even trying to help him on the offensive end besides drafting DK. But Russell Wilson back there, definitely instant improvement for them. They obviously lost a few pieces trading for him. They lost Shelby Harris on the D-line, Noah Fant. But then they drafted one of my boys from OU, Nick Bonito, off the edge. Can play inside too. You pair him with Bradley Chubb, and they got Randy Gregory.
Yeah.
That could be a nice little defensive line right there that could create some problems for the AFC West QBs. And then on the back end, like I said, got Russell Wilson now, Cortland Sutton,
Jerry Jeudy,
Tim Patrick.
Tim Patrick came alive.
KJ Hamler, yep, and Javonte Williams, up and coming running back. Yeah, they definitely could pose a lot of problems for the AFC West. The Vegas got them at plus 265. And that's the third favorite in the division. And I think they battle and finish second because I think quarterback play is, you know, like if you can only go as far as your quarterback take you a lot of times in this league. Obviously, there's rarities where, you know, the defense is just that cold that you could put anybody back there. And as long as they just manage the game, y'all be all right. But in this division, if, you know, a lot of these games probably going to come down to the wire and you're going to need a quarterback that can get it done. Besides Patrick Mahomes, I'm taking Russell Wilson as of right now. Derek Carr, cool. I know he got so many game-winning drives, but that's because the Raiders suck. They're literally always coming down to that for them to win. And Justin Herbert, and I know he's the future, but he's still got a lot to prove. And for them this year, man, they don't make the playoffs.
Yeah, you can't really. People gotta hold down on the elite talk for him. You gotta hold down.
You might have to take a step back off the elite talk. I mean, obviously the arm talent is there.
Yeah, it's there.
He's a good QB, but I'm just saying, Chargers, they did everything in their power to provide him the best team possible. They arguably got the best defense in the division on paper. They had a Khalil Mack, got Joey Bosa, Derwin James still back there, got J.C. Jackson, you said lockdown. Still got Mike Williams, re-signed him, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, one of the better dual threat running backs in the league. Everything is there.
Literally everything.
It's for them, is literally playoffs or bust. And if they don't make the playoffs, I don't know what they do, because obviously, you know, Herbert that's their franchise guy. But you're gonna have to start moving some pieces around because you're just not getting it done. And Mahomes not going nowhere. Russell Wilson, he here for the future. He not going nowhere. The only quarterback in the division that I think could be on the hot seat, depending on how the year goes, Derek Carr. Because I think he's going into probably like his 10th or 11th season, maybe.
Yeah.
And he hasn't really done anything. Last year, obviously, the whole team was a circus with John Gruden and Ruggs and all that. And he got them to the playoffs. But they lost to the Bengals. This year, you don't make it back after they went and got his boy Devontae Adams. He was the highest paid receiver before the Reid deal. Got Chandler Jones be opposite Max Crosby. Man, I see a lot of Raiders Twitter on my timeline a lot. And it's two very distinct sides of Raiders Twitter. It's the side that believes in Derek Carr and the side that does not believe in Derek Carr. If they don't produce this year, I'm gonna be looking real heavy at that side who's supporting Derek Carr, because what more do you need at this point? You got number one wide receiver, one of the top tight ends in Darren Waller. They done shirt up some of that defense.
Got one of the best slot receivers in the league and Hunter Renfrow.
For every team in the division, the tools are there.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that puzzled me was this year in the draft, they really could have shored up the offensive line some more, but for some reason they took 2 running backs. So I'm assuming, because most of the running back room is on their contract years, I don't know if it's some writing on the wall for Josh Jacobs, if they looking to go in another direction after this year, if things don't pan out. But if that was the case, I just feel like for the running backs they took, they could have just drafted running backs next year and tried to solve some more of their problems for this year. Because if you can't protect Derek Carr, then like we just said, Broncos, Chargers, we'll get to the Chiefs. Quarterbacks are gonna be under some duress in the AFC West this year. So like they not gonna sleep that night before them games because they know they're coming to take their heads off every Sunday. And man, I mean, Davante Adams, I think he can. As of right now, I put him number 1 receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, he is.
But obviously, he was playing with arguably number 1, number 2 quarterback in the NFL, Aaron Rodgers. And so him and Derek Carr went to college together, so that's his boy. But it's gonna be interesting, like we said with Reek and Tua. How does this new quarterback wide receiver pairing? Like, I don't know if he's gonna be able to produce like he produced with Aaron, because that's just an elite thrower of the ball. Mm-hmm. Derek Carr, good, don't get me wrong, but he's not elite. He's not Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
So how you think Davante Adams shapes up this year?
Man, see, okay, you watch the division way more than me, obviously, but I like the Las Vegas Raiders, man. I like what they did this year. I think I'm a firm believer in Derek Carr. I'm on that side with I'm not a Raiders fan, but I'm on that side with the Raiders fans that like Derek Carr. You know, I think he's a good guy, man. He's a very underrated quarterback.
He is underrated.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know if he has that extra oomph to get them over that hump of being real contenders. Mm-hmm. But I mean, like he proved that he can get them to the playoffs, but I don't know if he got what it takes to get them through the playoffs.
Yeah.
But got Davante Adams, so it's gonna be real interesting this year.
Yeah, it is, man.
They also got Josh McDaniels, new head coach, so that's gonna be interesting too. One out of the Belichick system. Now, I'm not completely sold on him because he had that stint with Denver, wasn't too great. Then I think, was it the Colts? He was supposed to take a head coaching job somewhere else, and then ended up backing off of it and staying as an assistant for New England. He's got a lot to prove too, because you got all the weapons you need in Oakland. They also added Demarcus Robinson from us.
Yeah, I know you glad he gone.
Oh, I'm so glad he gone. I can't wait. I can't wait for Raiders fans to see. Or, I mean, they've already seen it because they play us, but I can't wait for it to be on their side when he runs a 10-yard curl route, has the first down, and then runs 5 yards backwards and gets tackled. I don't know what's wrong with him, but he never runs forward. It's always backwards.
He think he Tyreek Hill doing that.
Right? I'm like, bro, you do not have the speed and agility to be doing all that. Not to mention, he hold the ball like it's a loaf of bread. Like, he just got it out there. I'm like, bro, you doing all this wiggling, moving backwards, all it takes is one to just punch it out. I will say he's a great blocking wide receiver. So, run some screen routes for Renfrow or Davante, he could definitely block for him. So that'll be a nice added boost to their offense. But as far as him being wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, he probably gonna fall more in that wide receiver 3 mode because
for sure he will.
He's not that great to me. Like I'm glad we got rid of him along with all the other receivers. But and then let's see, man. Let's talk about my boys, man. I'm just saying now, man. The first I needed lock pick of the year, man. I didn't even check the odds. I forgot to check the odds, but Patrick Mahomes, 2022-23 NFL MVP. Lock that shit in.
Lock it in.
I need it. Lock it in. Man, and here's why I think he's going to be the MVP. Of course, we lost Tyreek. But overall, the overall wide receiver room for us got way better. Because last year, I'll be the first to tell you, we overachieved. Like, them struggles that we had on offense, we just ended up getting together because we got Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. But it was literally just Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce every time that was getting us out the gym because we couldn't trust no other receivers to throw it to. Demarcus Robinson, Byron Pringle had a decent year, but he's still not a wide receiver 2 guy.
Yeah,
he had to become our wide receiver 2 because we didn't have nobody else. But Cole didn't have a breakout year like people suspected, but I think he could be in for a better year this year. But we lose Tyreek, we get Juju, we get MVS, we draft Sky Moore. We still got Josh Gordon, and now he's got a full offseason under his belt. I don't even know if Justin Ross can make the roster just yet, but that's some high potential right there if he's healthy to go. And then, like I've been telling you for a couple weeks now,
yeah, boy.
If y'all haven't heard of his name yet, remember the name Jody Fordsman.
Yep.
Jody Fordsman, 6'6". They got him listed at tight end, but he gonna be out there on the field with Travis Kelce. So when you putting all that attention on Travis Kelce, ball going right over the top to Jody Fordsman at 6'6". He was coming along nice last year. He had back-to-back touchdowns in the Chargers, and I want to say the Eagles or Redskins game, and then he got injured. But, man, we was just starting to use him because I've always wondered since Andy Reid has come, like, why don't we use a big receiver and just play jump ball like teams do to us?
Yeah.
And we were finally starting to do that with this guy next year, and, man, I'm excited to see him this year. He's going to have a breakout year, I think, and nobody really knows yet. And that's part of the reason why I think Patrick Mahomes get MVP, because none of these scouting analyst sites like PFF, none of them are counting the Chiefs wide receiver room as a number 1 receiver room or top 10 receiver room, even at that. And when we are able to break through and still win the division, and if I say so myself, make it to the Super Bowl this year, because remember last time we revamped the team completely, what we do? We came back and won the Super Bowl next year. Hey, I'm just saying, y'all. I want to sprinkle something on the odds right now for Chiefs win the Super Bowl too. You know what I'm saying? I know it's hard to make the AFC Championship 5 years in a row, but hey,
if anyone can do it,
I think we nailed the draft this year because we ain't even touched on the defense. That's just the offense. And while we still are on offense, I think another thing we finally realized last year, and they should take advantage more of this year, we finally got the offensive line to run the football.
Run the ball, yeah.
Now, will Andy Reid call them plays and run the football? That's yet to be seen because that's something he's never really done. But we got Clyde. We got Derek Gore. We drafted Pacheco from Rutgers, and we re-signed Jerick McKinnon. Man, that's probably the best pickup we got all offseason to me because that boy is a dog when he is healthy. He's been plagued by injuries through his career, and we were able to pick him up last year. And because of injuries, he was able to see some time on the field, and he was hands down our best running back. Whether it be out the field catching or running in between the tackles, inside out, it don't matter. 5'10", speedy as hell, but he was trucking dudes too. So I'm really hoping we give him a heavy dose of touch this year because I really think he's like that. And that the scariest thing, I know the AFC West bolstered their defenses, obviously, but the scariest thing got to be Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes and not knowing what offense you finna see week in and week out because you've never seen these players before, so you don't know what kind of scheme they about to hit you with.
Mm-hmm.
And They already said MVS, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, him and Patrick Mahomes connection, nice. That's the deep threat right there.
Oh yeah, he that boy, he can fly.
He's not
MVS.
Tyreek. I'm not saying he Tyreek. Don't get me wrong, listeners. I'm thinking, he the deep threat of Tyreek. He not Tyreek. But if you just need a deep threat with some speed, who can catch?
And he pretty tall too, huh?
He's 6'4". That's the other. See, we were a small wide receiver group these past few years. Every wide receiver except for Sky Moore, McCole is all 6'2" and above.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking for it. It's gonna be jump ball season in Kansas City all year. They going up there and getting
offense. That. Yeah.
And we got some receivers that can catch the ball. And shoot, Sky Moore is a rookie, but he might have the best hands on the team. And him in the slot gonna be dangerous as well. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I need football season here right now. I need it. I need it. Yeah. And then the only thing that I see that stands in our way, I'm not worried about the offense. I'm sure we'll have a few hiccups here and there to start the year, obviously, because it's just a lot of new pieces.
New guys, yeah.
But it's the defense. I think we made the right picks, but it's gonna be how fast they can gel and learn the system. Because we basically starting at least 2 or 3 rookie corners this year. It'll probably be more along the lines with 2, because I'm sure Snead and Rashad Fenton will be our starters. With McDuffie, our first round pick from Washington, he's nice. He's nice. He's gonna have his work cut out for him though, because you in the division with Devontae,
he gonna have to
Mike Williams, Keenan Allen. Yeah. He gonna have his work cut out for him, but. Last time we drafted the cornerback from Washington, it turned out pretty good. Marcus Peters, you know what I'm saying? Then we got some much needed defensive line help. We drafted Karlaftis out of Purdue, and he need at least, for us to be successful, I think he need to get at least 6 sacks this year, and I think he can do it. Coming in, that's a change of pace, because Frank Clark is good. But not having a threat on the other side, and with him and Chris Jones, it allows our offenses to focus more attention on them, so they can't really play to their potential. Karlaftis, he gonna do what he do. But what I will say, regardless of all the other defenses in the AFC West, we have the best linebacking core in the division. Willie Gay and Nick Bolton.
Truth.
Cold, and we finally got rid of our old linebackers. Like, I mean, Hitchens won us the Super Bowl. Don't get me wrong; he was a captain, love him, but he don't have what it takes to be a run stopper and stop the pass.
Yeah,
Bolton and Gay, that's young, fast talent. They can cover sideline to sideline, and they gonna put a hitting on the running backs coming through that hole. Not to mention who we pick up. We got Leo Chenal from Wisconsin. Cold white boy. That's the third linebacker. Boy, we might actually be able to stop the run this year, and we're gonna need that in our division.
Yeah.
So they got us, regardless of what they say. They got the Chargers, as I be hearing, Chargers are favorites, obviously, which is fair. But the odds say Chiefs still the favorite to win the division at plus 150, and they got the Chargers at plus 185. So you let me know. I know you said you high on the Chargers and the Raiders. So how you think the division plays out?
It's just what I'm about to say is about to be it's gonna be a hot take. It's a hot take.
It's okay. That's what we need. We here for the hot take. Let's hear it.
The Chiefs always gonna be there. So it's going to either be them 1 or they're going to be 2. For me personally, I like the Raiders, man. I think they're going to be one of the best teams in football. I'm telling you, Derek Carr.
You heard it here first. You heard it here first. I need a sports guy. I need a sports podcast. Can't even talk. You heard it here first from my boy Kim, Las Vegas Raiders.
We're going to have a lot of hot takes. I'm going to say this is my first hot take. My first hot take of the NFL season. You hear it first. Las Vegas Raiders. Now, this doesn't mean that they'll make it to the AFC Championship or they'll make it to the Super Bowl, but look for them to have I think they'll be one of the best teams in football, man. I mean, what they did on that offensive side, picked up Devontae Adams, still got Hunter Renfrow. I'm big on Hunter Renfrow. They got a top 3 tight end and Darren Waller. Still got a good defense. I see them having a really, really good year this year. I like Derek Carr. Like I said, he's a very underrated quarterback. I think he'll have another hot take. I think he'll have probably the most either passing yards or most touchdowns in the NFL this year. I got him as winning the offensive player of the year this year. It's gonna be very, very, very interesting, man. I think they'll be 1. I think y'all be 2. I got Chargers at 3, and I got Broncos coming in last.
Hey, if you want to put your money where your mouth is, they got the Raiders last according to the sportsbook at plus 575. So you think they're gonna take the division for real? I'm saying you might.
I might have to.
You might have to sprinkle a little something. I mean, hey, I respect your hot take, but here's mine because they got us at first plus 150, Chargers second plus 185, Broncos at plus 265, Raiders plus 575. I got the Broncos finishing second because at the end of the day, like I was saying earlier, when you got a quarterback that can win games and has been there before, I'll take Russell Wilson over Derek Carr and Justin Herbert right now.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think Denver has really just been a quarterback away from being, I won't say full-on contenders, but from competing in the AFC, that's all they really needed was quarterback. Everything else was there. And you bring in a guy like Russell Wilson, I think he's got it. Because if there's one thing I know from watching this division over the years, the Chargers and Raiders will find a way to lose. Yeah. It just so happened last year, one of them had to win to make it to the playoffs. And as you can see from that game, they was both trying their best to lose it. letting Justin Herbert convert, like, what was it, like 6 4 downs the last drive. And then the Chargers still find a way to let the Raiders march back down the field and win the game. They both will find a way to lose.
That was a crazy ass game. Jesus.
It was. And if it come down to it, I will put my money on Russell Wilson over them 2 guys. But
I think with this new playoffs system, 3 teams.
3 teams division, could make it from the division. Now
I don't know about 4, right? 4 can't make it. I don't know if all 4 can make it. That would be crazy. That would make the rest of the AFC is down bad if all 4 of us made it. But yeah, 3 could definitely make it. It'd be tough, but 3 can make it. The problem is the division's so tough. We might beat up on each other so much it might only be 2 to that point. But there's definitely 3 playoff teams in this division, if not 4. Most definitely.
It's just you're gonna get the unlucky draw if you didn't win this game or that game, and next thing you know, you out of the playoffs.
That's gonna be some great games to watch. I think that's one of the best divisions probably ever. Like, I've never seen so many great quarterbacks in one division. Like, it's insane. The
moves they made this year, it was like, okay, they really want to stop Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs this year.
Stop one man.
Stop one man. I'm one like, man. Nobody else in the league is doing this, and y'all really sit up here every day on the internet and try to say that Patrick Mahomes isn't the best young quarterback in the league, if not the best quarterback in the league. Nobody else is bolstering up their team like this to stop us.
It's literally like some LeBron James type shit. Like, everyone is going out to get people to stop one man. To stop one guy. You worried about one guy? It's crazy.
It's crazy. And then I gotta get your opinion because we picked up 2 of y'all players on the defensive end, but I want to get your opinion on Justin Reid, man. We lost Tyron. Obviously, that one hurts too. Tyron was I fuck with Tyron. I know he ain't necessarily get along with Chiefs fans on social media this past year, but me personally, Tyron is that dude. If it wasn't for him, that defense would have been so piss poor because I was tired of watching Daniel Sorensen back there. But Tyrann Mathieu, he's a dog. We lose him, obviously, but we replace him with Justin Reid. And I remember, when y'all first got Justin Reid, you was telling me you really liked him. And so how you think he performs for us? Like, you think obviously I'm not saying he's going to be Tyrann Mathieu. He got to be Justin Reid, he himself. But how you think he fares with new team? You think
he'll be damn near close to Tyrann Mathieu. Definitely in that defense. I like you said, I was very big on Justin Reid. I was sad that he left, but I understand why he left. He want to win that championship, man. If you want to win that championship, go play with Pat Mahomes. So I mean, he's one of the fastest safeties in the league. That boy can fly. He can fly. He gonna be on every tackle. He gonna be there. He might be banged up a lot, but he got that toughness, man. He got that dog in him. Justin Reid is a really good. I'm not gonna dog him. He a really good really great safety. I'm sad that he left us, man. But he gonna be a good a good pickup for y'all. He should do good.
I think so too. And then finally we got Juan Thornhill, he came, I think this 4th year. Rookie year, he was phenomenal, learning with Tyrann, not starting every game, but when he was in, he was making impact. Unfortunately, tore his ACL at the end of the year in San Diego they wore San Diego at that time. And funny enough, I was at that game at Arrowhead that year during Christmas break, tore his ACL on the Super Bowl run, came back COVID year. You could tell, they wasn't necessarily trusting his knee, so he wasn't getting enough playing time. Last year, I don't know what was wrong. I don't know. I just feel like there couldn't be anybody worse than Daniel Sorensen, so why not put Juan on the field? But this year, Daniel Sorensen and Tyrann in New Orleans. And so it's Juan and Justin Reid's year. And Juan came out and said he feel like he finna have an all-pro year. And I'm really hoping he do, because he definitely got that dog in him too. He was a ball hawk coming out of college. He got to show some of that his first year, and then he got hit with the injury and then hasn't really got solid playing time since. But I think he surprised some folks too. And if they able to anchor that defense on the back end, watch out.
People sleep on y'all defense, man. This could legit be a top 5 defense. I'm telling you. Yeah, got this.
It's all the pieces are there, man.
Pieces are there. This is a very nice defense. Got the secondaries, got the pass rushers. Chris Jones, he could win Defensive Player of the Year. I know.
Man, I'm hoping he just break out and do it one of these years. I've been waiting on it because he got all the talent and measurements, whatever you want to say. He got it to be that top defensive player, but it's just he never just give that little extra oomph that we need. And if we gonna win this year, funny enough, he's never recorded a sack in the playoffs ever. Ever. That's what I'm saying. that Joe Burrow clip we were talking about earlier when he let him go, I'm like, bro, how could you not sack him? And then when they put that clip on Twitter when it happened earlier in the year, people came with that, man, Chris Jones has never recorded a sack in the playoffs. I'm like, dang, I guess y'all
not thinking about it.
Yeah, he has it. And I'm like, bro, you too talented to not be getting sacked. But I mean, come playoffs, he probably facing more doubles than he is usually. But like I said, we got Karlaftis on one side, Clark on the other end. We were able to keep Noddy, who's going to clog up the middle as well. That defense has all the talent now. It's just if they can gel and get Spags' system down, because Spags play a wild system of defense. Press coverage, nonstop, no help. Them corners, they going to be in for a rude awakening if they, not ready. But it's going to be a learning curve for sure. But I think they got the potential. As long as we not a bottom 20 defense, with Patrick Mahomes understanding on the other side, I got all the confidence in the world because I got trust in him at the end of the day.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. I got them. I got us finishing first, of course. Because I mean, I know teams obviously bolstered they whole roster to beat us. And at some point we gonna have to not win the division. I think we won it 6 years in a row now. But hey, they gotta prove it to me because we still got Patrick Mahomes at the end of the day and Andy Reid. And that's the best coach and best quarterback in the division. So when you got them two, anything is possible. So I got us finishing first. I got Russell Wilson, Denver Broncos finishing second. I got Las Vegas finishing third. And I think, if the dice fall the right way for them, they could still creep into the playoffs in that position. And I got the Chargers finishing fourth somehow, some way. Because even though they have probably the most talent on paper in the division, like I said, they just find a way to lose. I don't know what it is. And if they find a way to lose this year, it's going to be real scary offseason for them because, like, where do you go from here? Because it's going to be Herbert's third year. He probably going to be looking for an extension, and you're going to have to pay him because not like they're about to get rid of him. Yeah. Then you're going to have to start moving around pieces on that roster that makes them, the contenders they are on paper. So it's going to be interesting to see. It's definitely going to be a dogfight for the division.
Do you think they get rid of the head coach? Is that a potential?
I mean, I feel like if they lose, it's gonna be between him or Herbert, and they're not getting rid of Herbert. Yeah. So they might hold off for like one more year. Like, okay, you got one last year to prove it. But if not, it's probably Staley that's got to go in that duo because Herbert is definitely their future. You're not finding no quarterback like that in next year's draft or any draft for the foreseeable future. He's definitely a talent in his own class. But Staley, I don't know. It's him and his analytics. He just be doing stupid shit. Not punting the football when he should, not taking the points when he should, according to his analytics. And then next thing you know, they losing games they shouldn't be losing. And that's what I mean. Like, just stupid stuff that's just going to have them losing games at the end when they can't be losing games, man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, that wraps up all the division, the AFC, man. That was the first episode. Like I said, we're going to be having content coming out all year. I'm excited to get this started, man. I don't know when this episode officially going to drop, but just know we're going to have a full rollout coming. And then once the season comes, man, we really going to be, we're going to try to get 2 episodes a week for y'all.
Yes, sir.
With all the headlines. NBA going to start in October, November. Gonna start having NBA too, man. It's gonna be fun. Like I said, we've been meaning to do this for years.
Years now.
Should have been did it. But we finally got the free time, and man, it's gonna be fun.
I'm excited, man. Like I said earlier, just like you keep saying, we've been talking about this for years now, and just finally seeing it come together. We've been like, true, man. Yeah, true. We've been in DLs talking about sports and all that.
Y'all don't understand. It be times where me and Cam, because we're in a group chat, we DM each other separately. We in group chat talking about sports, and our other friends be like, "Bro, can y'all like not just DM each other? y'all really need to make a podcast to talk about it." I'm like, you know what? We do need to make a podcast, and we've been BSing, man. We gonna get the podcast going. Thanks. Time just going by, man. We're going to start the podcast. I got this. I got that. Thanks. Now, man, y'all going to get this. Y'all gonna get this fucking podcast. Y'all going to get the podcast, man. I need this sports podcast, man. Stay tuned. It's your boy, Bryce. My boy, Kam. Man, that's the wrap on episode 1. Can't wait to bring y'all episode 2 and many more, man. It's going to be nice, man.